Happy Monday, Manna Gatherers. We are here this second week of February 2021 already to gather God's good stuff all together. Daily, God feeds our mind, our bodies, our spirits, our souls, the way God did in Exodus 16 when God's people were wandering in the wilderness. Wilderness or not, whether you find yourself in the wilderness or not, God provides for you. God provides by feeding us good stuff, but sometimes we have to make a little effort on our part to look for and to gather up the good stuff. So I am happy that you are here with me and us this week, making the effort to open yourselves up to receiving God's good stuff. And God's got an abundance of good stuff for you this week. I just know it. This coming week, Sunday is Valentine's Day. Don't you gentlemen or ladies forget that. Sunday is Valentine's Day, February 14th. And so I thought this week leading up to such a day that focuses on love, we through Morning Manna will focus on love. Not love in the hallmark worldly way, but that agape love, God's very own unconditional love that God meets us with each and every day. A love that we have been made and formed in so that we can be God's unconditional love for the whole world. And we need that in our world right now. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I almost broke out in song. All we need is love. That can be our theme song for this week, okay? So, but our scripture lesson this week, scripture text this week, is Song of Songs, also known as Songs of Solomon. It actually shows up 3 times in the very exact same way. In chapter 2, verse 7, chapter 3, verse 5, chapter 8, verse 4. They all say the exact same thing. I adjure you, O daughters and sons, I'll add, of Jerusalem, do not stir up or awaken love until it is ready. Do not stir up or awaken love until it is ready. I can't, of course, after Sunday, February 7th worship, I can't help but have Stephen's sermon on waiting in the back of my mind as I read this scripture text from Song of Solomon. If you haven't heard his sermon, it's a good one about waiting. Hard to hear, but necessary, important. You can visit our webpage and get that, or the YouTube page that you're on right now. His sermon was on waiting. And here again in Song of Songs is another reminder for those of us who find waiting hard. In these scriptures, texts from Song of Solomon is the importance of waiting. So, confession and truth, I have a hard time waiting for God all the time, especially when I pray. I have a hard time waiting for God to respond to my prayers, and so many times I find myself trying to be the answer to my own prayers or the prayers of another, leaving God completely behind and out of the equation. But sometimes I have to remember an unanswered prayer isn't no, as I often think, and therefore I do it myself. It is a not yet from God. It is be patient, my child, and wait. This is what I hear in this verse from Song of Songs. Wait, do not awaken love until it is ready. And yet, this reminder exposes a truth. We fill our lives with all kinds of ill-fitting loves because we are not willing and therefore ready to wait for God's love to lead the way to our deepest longings and desires that God knows rests in the depths of our heart. But if we aren't willing to wait for God to stir or to awaken love in our lives in such a way, we miss out on the truly lovely and abundant life that God offers all of us. I think this is one of the many meanings of this scripture text. It is a promise and a warning all wrapped up into one. A promise that God truly delights in us and wants us to have the desires of our hearts. But a warning A warning that in trying to pursue such loves and desires of our hearts without God, well, that robs us of truly having the desires and the delights that we seek in our lives. I will let you think about that. So for now, I will say, see you tomorrow. We're going to be with this scripture all week long, and there's so much in it. I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday.